GM, we're live, and there we go. We're off. I thought maybe we'd be waiting for one when we started, but we are in here. We got the 6 hole. We got B Grandy. We got the Bird Enthusiast, and the Brooklyn Bum in here of names I recognize. But if you're in here, please let me know. But good morning to everyone. Bukowski, Coffee, and Best Ball. I mean, there is no better combination. There is no better combination. And, you know, Pete has a stranglehold on the Coffee with Best Ball stream. So in order to avoid getting a message from his lawyers, you know, we have to drink our coffee off stream, but it's okay. We had it right before we went live here. B Grandy, GM to you. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Appreciate you coming in, hanging out with us. See you in at the 4. Steven, GM, everyone. Hey, GM to you, Steven. Appreciate you so much coming in, hanging out. Likewise, Bird Enthusiast. I see you in at the... I saw you in here. Where'd you go? The 5. Okay, you're right next to me. At the 5. Arlox, GM. Hey, GM to you, Arlox. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your day. Appreciate you coming in, hanging out with us. Jets Drop Bombs, GM to you. Hope you're having a wonderful morning. Appreciate you so much for coming in and hanging out. Bukowski says Pete secretly drinks his coffee. I'll confess something. I drink mostly iced coffee. So I drink the vast preponderance of my coffee through a straw. I would not drink hot coffee through a straw. I think that's kind of psychotic behavior, and I doubt Pete does that either. But yeah, I am an iced coffee truther. Even in the dead of winter, I will be doing. It looks like I should have looked in the camera before I went live. Whatever. Anyway, Greg, GM to you. Hope you're having a wonderful day, fellow long-suffering Dolphins fan. We will see if the Dolphins continue or what they do. If we have a fire sale, if we trade away A-Chain and Waddle, we could see some huge changes. Haven't heard anything on that front lately, but wouldn't be surprised to see some moves from the Fins. I'll just take Jonathan Taylor here at the 6. Been a little underweight on CMC. I'm okay doing that myself. I think I just have some serious concerns about CMC. I don't want to have none, but, you know, I was last year the believer in the extinction event that CMC could come through the fantasy playoffs and wipe out the disbelievers. And he almost did in week 17. But Brock Purdy was the true beneficiary of the short yardage rushing touchdowns. CMC still had a good game, but he could have been the guy you needed. People forget. But yes, I appreciate that, Goods. Iced coffee is superior. Iced coffee is definitely the better form of coffee. But thanks for coming in, Goods, hanging out. Yeah, that is the lead, as you all probably saw on the thumbnail. The huge Rb Shakeup. It's a little clickbaity, but it's true. This is a big shakeup. Montgomery gets the landing spot we hoped for a lot of the free agent for the sort of Dowdle, Algieri kind of guys could get picked up there. Instead, it's a trade that sends Montgomery to the Texans. Coming up real quick, what do we want to do? I'm really not that excited about Trey McBride. I don't think I'd take him here. I think I'm going to be underweight, at least in the big board, on McBride. I'm a little light on Neighbors. Henry probably was where I was going to go. I'll take a Neighbors share. Try to get a little closer to being underweight versus a massive fade. But yeah, it's very big news for Montgomery. I did a couple DraftKings drafts last night. He went at 52 in one of them, and then I took him at like 76, I think, in one of them where he was still there. He went to me. But a big riser. I think Leg Up has him ranked very aggressively now, and he's going to continue to go. And yesterday on stream, I don't know if anyone remembers, I took Montgomery in a draft, and I said, he's a guy I need to get more overweight on, and I was too late. I got him in that draft, but I am very underweight Montgomery. Feels like a big loss, but we were starting to be like, Montgomery could end up somewhere if he's gone from the Lions, but we will see. Jets Drop Bombs, not to brag, but I have the first like. Oh, I mean, appreciate that so much. Fantasy Dog with number 9. Hey, yeah, all of you, if you can, drop a like, drop a sub. We're at 505 subs. The likes help. The subs help. He's just hanging out. Whatever you do to support, just appreciate all of you so much. Gunnar Ross, GM. Well, GM to you, Gunnar Ross. I hope you're having a wonderful start to your morning, Emo Cowboy. GM Monty in the 7th is fine to good. Above that, I'm probably out. Yeah, I'm going to be curious to see if that's the be all end all of the Texans running back room. Is it just Monty and Woody? I don't know. I think most of us think it is, and if that's the case, then man, he feels like a good pick in the 60s to 70s. We were taking Mixon, and now I'm up again. Gosh, I just don't like Breece Hall. I know I'm being kind of picky here. You know what? I'm gonna do elite quarterback. We'll take a Josh Allen share. Yeah, I mean, we were taking Joe Mixon last year as kind of a eat your vegetables pick before we realized that the injury stuff really was more than just a precautionary measure. And he was in like the 4th to 6th round, kind of oscillated there, if I remember right. So I don't know. But yeah, I think he's a massive, massive winner. FYI, the tweet got me here. Good. Hey, appreciate you, Gunnar Ross. I'm glad you saw it. Twitter can be weird about what it puts out and what it doesn't. It doesn't like when you're trying to send people outside of Twitter. So I try not to include the link. The link's in my bio, but I don't know. It's tough now. They really kind of made it useless for a lot of what we're trying to do here. Arlock's first year doing pre-draft. How do I manage my emotions when I missed out on a riser like Monty? You know what? It's not really the end of the world to me. You can still take him. It only kills you if he's like the absolute guy you need, and even more granular, like he's the guy you need in week 17. I think you'll be okay. It's not rising like, from the 15th to the 1st. It's not like he was completely free. So I think you're not going to catch everything. You're just not going to catch all of these guys, so I wouldn't stress too much. All right, we're coming up. I think Devonta Smith is my preferred click here. Yeah, I'll take him. I like Loveland. I've been trying to get more Loveland, but with more and more of these A.J. Brown rumors, Devonta Smith feels like a terrific click. Emo Cowboy notes that every morning he is a big riser. Undoubtedly so. Emo Cowboy. Gunnar Ross 506. Thanks for coming by. Whoever you are, number 506, appreciate you so much. Steven says, I wonder if Scadabo's injury is worse than we think, but on the other hand, a duo of Walker and Scat could be great. Yeah, that's the big unknown, right? Like how much of this Giants running back talk is concern that Scadabo might be not healthy versus just the Giants being kind of dumb. Or it could be a combination of both. And I think there's some real questions. I've always maintained Scadabo would be at his best in some form of split backfield where they could keep him fresh, but he gets the goal line and he gets passing work, and we're fine if it's just a few of those, just like 4 yards in a cloud of dust type carries. If those get taken away, I'm not going to complain. But yeah, if they bring in Ken Walker, draft Jeremiah Love, that's pretty bad. Gunnar Ross says, dang, the new music is ripping. So this is from the YouTube library. It has a bunch of music you can use for the background. I spent way too long listening to them. I thought this one was fine. So let me know if the people don't like it. I can change it, but I think this one's fine. Our first question though is, do we take our King Scadabo to pair with Neighbors? Let's do it. Let's bet on the Giants. Let's say that this Scadabo FUD is just March nonsense. Maybe not though. Could be bad. Greg says the background is a jam ambient surf. I just thought it was nice. Yes, yeah. Greg agreeing with Gunnar. Yeah, CLV does not pay in cash, bird enthusiast. Although I have heard that, Sklansky bucks are legal tender. I'm still trying to figure out where to cash those in. I actually think Sklansky might have had some legal trouble himself, so maybe that process gets accelerated a little. Chaito PR. Hey, first of all, appreciate you. tuning in from Puerto Rico, possibly 506. Hey, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. It means a lot that you'd come spend your morning here. So thanks for coming in. And thanks so much for the sub. Appreciate that so much. Steven says music is great. All right. And always let me know if it's too loud or soft, because it can be weird in the headphones. It's sometimes hard for me to tell the balance. So sounds like people are okay with it so far. For the audio listeners, we've got Jonathan Taylor, Malik Neighbors, Josh Allen, Devonta Smith, and Cam Scatabo. McCaskey noting we've got a good bet on the NFC East. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't intentional doing that with the Eagles and the Giants, but at the very least, we know they're going to play twice, so we could potentially get some correlation there. And they do tend to backload some of these games into the playoff weeks, so maybe we spike something there. Sweetleaf, thumbs up. WNBK. WNBK. I'm missing the acronym. I see BK and I think either Burger King or Brooks Koepka. But we'll figure it out. All right, what are we up to? What do we want to do? I don't love MHJ. You know what? The machine wants me to take David Montgomery. Let's do it. Let's grab Monty. He's at the top of the sidekick. Anyone using the sidekick is going to start seeing him up there. So this is as good a time as any. We'll take him at pick 67. Maybe we could have waited till 78. I don't know. Probably not in a sharp room like this. And I think there might be some sidekick people to my left. Hey, Hot Stuff says PPR Tyler. Hey, appreciate you, PPR Tyler. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. PPR Tyler in the midst of a 200-day streak of streaming. I think he's up to 38 days, if I'm not mistaken. But amazing feat there. Great content. If y'all don't sub to PPR Tyler and the Toxic Tower, it is fantastic stuff. So appreciate you so much coming in, hanging out. PPR Tyler. Oh, Wake and Bake. Gotcha. Yeah. I was like, I don't think Brooks Koepka is in the field this week for the signature event, but I hope you're having a great morning, Sweet Leaf. Bukowski, 6th round is fine. Yeah, I think here is a perfectly reasonable place to be taking him. Like him and Warren, I that's kind of the line for me. I like Warren, but I have a lot of Warren. All right, let's see. Speaking of Warren, we got Tyler Warren. We could take Jackson Dart. We could stack one of those guys. We do already have Josh Allen, which makes me feel like maybe I should take one of these wide receivers. You know what? The machine wants me to take Hurts. Let's do it. Let's go Hurts. Let's go Hurts Allen. Let's put our trust in Shady and Sacrilegious. Let's do it. So we got Allen and Hurts. We now can stop at 2 quarterbacks if we want, but who am I to argue with those guys? Please, Chad, call me PPR. Okay. Sometimes I've gotten in trouble. Easy on here comes up as easy DFS, and I got scolded for saying the whole thing. So he's just easy. I got to keep track of all these things. I really need a notepad of everyone's names and preferred what they want to be called. Let's check in on the friends and family. That we got B Grandy here to our left. He's got JSN, Drake London, Bucky, Travion, and Judkins, and then adds Drake May and the Fannin bet. So he's got May stacked with Henderson on that team. Bird enthusiast here, a kind of a piss boy here with McBride sprinkled in. Jamar Chase, Trey McBride, Ladd, Igbuka, Tate, Marvin, Harrison Jr., and then Herbert. So no running backs through Bird enthusiast through 7 rounds. We'll see if he changes that or not. He does get the Herbert Ladd stack, but very aggressive there. He's also got 2 Arizona pass catchers. We'll see who he thinks is the Arizona quarterback if he tries to create a stack or not. So curious to see how that ends up. If anyone else is in here today, let me know. I don't know. Brooklyn Bum sometimes comes by, I believe, but I don't know if I've seen him here this morning. Dak goes. Mahomes goes. Man, Jackson. All right, I was like, Jackson Dart's going to come around. That's annoying because I really can't justify taking him as a 3rd QB. Although the machine was getting a little aggressive there in recommending that. It wants me to take Pollard. I what do we want to do, guys? I'm going to IKB that just a hair, and I'll take my guy Kyle Pitts. Please let me take Kyle Pitts. Okay. We'll go one spot below there. We'll take Kyle Pitts onto this team. We've been overweight on him. I think he is a pretty big steal at this ADP. I think this is way too late for Pitts. I've said this 1,000 times, and I'm heavily overweight on Pitts this year. Jets drop bombs. Is it strategic to enter the stream already in a draft? I'm not 100% sure what you mean, but I will say I don't join a lot of stream drafts when I'm not streaming. I'll do it occasionally just because I think it's fun, but it's pretty uncommon for me to do it. I do sometimes like joining the draft right after a stream draft or right before, because then like the commentary on the rounds kind of lines up with the draft that I'm in. So I think that's kind of fun. But yeah, I feel like the stream drafts are often very sharp. And a lot of the times the sleepers or the guys that are getting steamed, you don't get any value on them because everyone's like in those drafts to grab them. So we will see. Brooklyn Bum. Hey, there you are, Brooklyn Bum. You are in here. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a great day. Yeah, Greg, please let me draft Kyle Pitts. After getting burned on Kyle Pitts for years and years, we came around to them. All right, let's see what B Grandy does. Oh, Crutches says, I think it means starting the stream before being in a draft like Pete and then join once stream is live. Gotcha. Hold on, let me make my pick. The machine wants me to take Dowdle. I would have taken Algier. Bird Enthusiast grabs him. But let's listen to the sidekick. So far, we got Hertz and Allen, Jonathan Taylor, Cam Scatabo, David Montgomery, Rico Dowdle, and then Neighbors, Devonta Smith, and Kyle Pitts. So kind of a fun team so far, I have to say. Even taking 2 elite quarterbacks, I think this is coming out. Okay, starting the stream before being in a draft. No, I just vary it up sometimes. And today, I think I only have time to do 2 drafts. So I'll just join it as soon as possible, as I guess what I'm trying to say. I don't try to evade people drafting with me. It's just kind of random. Some streamers will start 10 minutes early or late to try to not get people in them. I'm not at that point where I really want to be doing that. Okay, gotcha. What number big board is this? When will the contest fill? I've got to. I think I was hearing yesterday we're pacing a little ahead. Where are we? The big board is basically half full, right? 49.8% full. I've got 53 left. So I've done almost 100 of these. I think it probably feels pretty close to the draft. Part of it might just be a function of the little board being smaller. And so the people that do a lot of volume have already maxed it, essentially. Uh-oh. The sidekick's mad at me. Sidekick, help! I'm gonna take Khalil Shakir. I have angered the sidekick gods when I went to the other. Okay, it wants Khalil Shakir. All right, good. We will listen. We will take Khalil Shakir to stack with Josh Allen. So happy with that. I think it fills within a few days of the draft, especially if they don't do. It also will depend on what else they launch. So, I don't know. I really don't know what's going on with Underdog. They had a huge round of layoffs, clearly deprioritizing draft games. Big bummer there. So we'll see. I don't think we're going away. I don't think it's Armageddon, but clearly I don't think we are the primary focus of the good folks at Underdog. But it does not take that much to keep us afloat here with the games we do. They have all the infrastructure there. I just don't know how much innovation is coming. And, B. Grandy was a victim of the star method of Darnold. Oh my gosh. Yeah. The star method will get you. I didn't see exactly that, but I assume you were the JSN drafter based on where you were. TD, Mr. Mufasa, GM to you. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Appreciate you coming in, hanging out. Jetstrap Bombs noting the sidekick was a little slow as well. Yeah, it's sometimes it can get a little squirrely if you're like tabbing around too much. Yeah, that's true, Crutches. It wasn't just drafts. I guess it's just we're kind of familiar with like some of the people that that got laid off, so it hit a little closer to home. But yeah, like 125 out of 600 if I read that right. It wants Debo. I don't like Debo. I don't really love Jonah Coleman, but let's see. We'll take him. He was on top of the sidekick past Debo. He didn't run because everyone thinks he's slow. I'm not very high on him, but as a running back 5, I'll take the shot there. We'll listen to the sidekick a little more. But yeah, just really unfortunate to see anyone losing their job, and it is absolutely brutal. We do what we can. We do what we can. So let's see, B Grandy. Yeah, you took Darnold at 93. Definitely aggressive ADP on Sam Darnold, being that he probably could have gotten him in the 10th, would be my assumption. But yeah, you know what? Getting Boston, Concepcion, not too bad. Charbonnet, was that also a star method, Grandy? What's going on there? Because that is really aggressive for Sharbs. I've seen him slip quite a bit into the 160s, even 170s. Mike Washington, though, from Brooklyn Bum, man. ADP 166, huge rise alone, going 166, goes 134 here. So starting to see some of the big combine winners winning, if you will. Big rise on a few of these names. Emmett Johnson, though, kind of yin and yang. Emmett Johnson, big loser, doesn't fall that far in this room, but Brooklyn Bum did need running back, so makes sense to grab those guys. Sadiq goes 1 pick before me. A little bit of a bummer. I would have taken that. Let's see, the sidekick wants me to take Trey Benson. I think I'm inclined to agree. We'll grab a Trey Benson here. We'll see what the sidekick wants us to do. We're kind of letting it drive here. We're letting it drive because we started a little unorthodox with the 2 quarterbacks early. We're up to 6 running backs with Taylor, Scatabo, Montgomery, Dowdle, Coleman, and Benson. I think if Scatabo hits this year, this is a really strong running back room. We got a little bit of ADP discount, and I think he's going to fall even further as the smoke rises about the Giants adding someone to the room. Neighbors, Devonta Smith, Khalil Shakir. So pretty, I like Neighbors and Devonta, so it's just going to depend on our late receivers, how we can land the plane. So a lot of trust in the old sidekick there. Harlocks, I do have a lot of Mike Washington. At my peak, I was at like 46%, and I was backing off. I think I'm at like 35-ish%. It's come down because I don't think I've gotten him since the combine. But yeah, I was very overweight on Mike Washington. My 2 highest players were Mike Washington and Emmett Johnson. So arguably the biggest winner and the biggest loser at running back. So we took some swings, didn't always pay out. But that's kind of where we're at here. Josh Downs would be my absolute preferred pick in this range. If Josh Downs is gone, then we'll figure out what we want to do. Sidekick asking me to take Stroud next, which I find interesting. It has already updated the teammate to Montgomery, so the sidekick, the folks at Leg Up, nothing gets by them. They've already updated the Sims to reflect the changes this week. All right, let's see. Oh, B Grandy, yeah, I'm on my phone. It's not alerting. Yeah, brutal. I'm sorry. Yeah, because I was like, that's it's fine. It's just like 40 picks early again. Gunnar Ross, I wish DK would hire these guys to run their draft. They have the money. Yeah, I mean, it feels like DK, if they really wanted to fill the void, they could, and they've gotten better. They've actually put some effort into the draft games. Their draft board now works on mobile. They do their DraftKings week and get streamers on, so they have not abandoned it. They definitely, I think, recognize that we are a small but very vocal and loyal base to have. So I could see that. All right, I kind of like taking a third quarterback. I know it's not really necessary, but Daniel Jones with Josh Downs as a QB3. Let's do it. Let's get sweaty. We could have stopped at 2. I think some people in the room might think that I'm a little too 3 QB pilled. But that said, I think there's enough late receivers where you can figure out. That said, it's gotten harder. Omar Cooper here goes at pick 157. Someone we could have reliably gotten in the 16th, 17th round. Now off the board. Steven says, from what I read a few weeks ago in a book about sports gambling, prediction markets and pick'ems are where these companies make their money. Yeah. I mean, like this draft, like I'm going to put $10 in, and then they're just going to sit on $10-ish until December and then pay it out. Like, they're probably allowed to put it in some form of escrow account or something that earns interest, but nothing like crazy. Whereas in pick'ems, if I put $10 in, they either win the money or plus the rake or whatever they're taking, and then it just keeps churning. Like, the money here that we pay in just kind of sits in a pile. These companies like to be able to like rake the same dollars over and over. Whereas with this or with prediction markets, just like eat the fees constantly. So, all right, the machine wants Surratt. All right, I'll take Surratt. Sure. I'll listen to you, sidekick here. Sweetleaf says, Chesley as Scatabo ranked 82. Look, I have a lot of respect for Chesley. He hates Scatabo. He always has. He didn't like him last year. I think he's doubling down. But then again, if you really think that the injury stuff is serious, then that's not an unreasonable place to rank him. Between the injury and the possibility of them bringing someone else in, it's not an illogical place to land. That's just not how I'm reading the situation, but I understand the aggressive fade. Just if you have him at 82, you will never get a single share of him. So you might as well like not even rank him at that point. So B Grandy, it's not fine. It's yeah, it is unfortunate. I hate the star method disasters. The machine wants a 7th RB with only 4 wide receivers. The Sims know all our locks. The Sims have accounted for it. I don't know how else to say it. At least now, I mean, they're the next running back is not all the way to Singletary, so it is aggressively ranking the non-running back positions. All right, let's see. We're coming up. I don't like Dalton Schultz. That's just kind of a player take. I don't like Schultz or Hawk. That's a little bit of an issue for me. Trey Harris, a guy I'm slightly light on. Sure. We'll listen to the machine. We'll take Trey Harris here. I tend to get a lot of Trey Harris on my Herbert teams. I don't need that to be the only times I have Trey Harris. So we'll add him to the mix on this one. I feel like Dalton Schultz is very live to have some competition brought in. And maybe I should back off that a little bit, especially on a team where I have Monty. You know, it lets me make kind of a cheap bet on Houston. But I just have this feeling in the pit of my stomach that Schultz is not going to do a whole lot. But then again, we're already in the 16th, 17th round, so it's worth enough of a flyer. Hey, GM to you, Hartman. Hope you're having a great start to your day. I appreciate you so much for coming and hanging out. Al Boogie, GM, everyone. GM to you, Al Boogie. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your day. Again, thanks so much, everyone, for coming in, hanging out. If you can, drop a like, drop a sub. These things all help a ton. We're over 500 subs. Just thrilled to hit that goal, and we're on the road to 750, I guess, is next. Crutches show. I missed this. I was more out on Schultz last year than this year. Showed a tiny bit of juice and didn't roll. Yeah, I think I was saying the same thing last year, Crutches, and so maybe I should just kind of adjust my priors on that one. I thought last year they were going to bring. I thought the same thing about Hunter Henry. I don't know why I kind of lumped the two of them as guys on kind of interesting teams. I mean, more so with Henry, that someone with a little bit of talent could come in and just absolutely dust. Boy, gosh, this range of tight end I hate so much. I'm going to take Zachariah Branch over Cup. One little bit of IKBing. Although, I know, maybe I should take Cup because we know B. Grandy is aggressively drafting Seahawks here. So we'll see. Maybe if he's there at 211. No more drafting Mixon, right? People were drafting. No one was drafting Mixon. Don't look at my Mixon exposures. I thought Mixon could come back. I'm not drafting any more Mixon. I was going through a phase. Yeah. I mean, if he signs somewhere, maybe that says he's got something. I have no idea. The team doesn't even know what his status is. It's not great. But he is undoubtedly a highly risky click at this point. Mixon could still come back. He could. Mixon and the Tooth Fairy could show up. I don't know, man. Hartman, I have a lot of Mixon. I want to believe, but it's so bad. I was taking him on a lot of 0 RB teams, thinking it was a swing for the fences, and it was really more of a flush down the toilet. All right, I don't like Hawkinson. I think he's a dust ball. I think Parkinson will be my pick if I can. The machine prefers Otten, but I'll take Parkinson assuming T Busy doesn't take 3 or 4 tight ends rather. So we've actually kind of didn't ignore the sidekick all that much. We either took the top or the second for a lot of our picks here. But for the audio listeners, we got a 3-6-7-2. We got Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones. So a very strong QB room, and definitely if Daniels comes on slow, we are more than covered. We got running back room of Jonathan Taylor, Cam Scatterbo, David Montgomery, Rico Dowdle, Jonah Coleman, and Trey Benson. So again, a lot of this will come down to scat. Wide receivers of Neighbors, Devonta Smith, Khalil Shakir, Josh Downs, Elijah Surratt, Trey Harris, and Zachariah Branch. And tight ends of Pitts and Colby Parkinson. So I kind of like this team. We got a big bet on the Colts with Jones, Taylor, and Downs. We've got 2 elite quarterbacks in Hurts and Allen, and some intriguing stuff going on in our running back room. Hoohames, sup fam? Hey, Hoohames, appreciate you so much. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Hoohames out there in the content mines, a great sub and follow himself out there. Al Boogie noting that Mixon only has 2 pinky toes left. Yeah, I mean, the rumor was some kind of ATV accident and had some illicit surgery to try to recover from it, and it went bad. That's what greasy Twitter is saying. And my gosh, that is dark. Bukowski, Mixon might be a poor man's Najee Harris. Yeah, that's kind of the bull case at this point. The bear case is he doesn't play football again this year. I mean, we just don't have any clarity at all. We're all just guessing. Bird enthusiast, though, my God, 2-8-6-2. All I see is green coming straight down from my left. I'm lucky I got any running backs. I think I'll take Otten here. I think that's fine. I'm okay not taking Cooper Kupp. I'm fine with that. So we get our third tight end. So we got Pitts, Parkinson, and Otten. Not a bad tight end room, all told. I think that's more than okay. There goes Cooper Kupp. Hoohames has taken 0. I wish I had taken 0. I talked myself into it being taking the mystery box, and the mystery box just had something not great inside. Crutches, Najee is already a poor man's running back. So yeah, Mixon is the homeless man's Najee. It is dark. It is not good. Again, we'll see. Maybe something will come out I would have just assumed that through his agent or something, we would start hearing like, we're getting a lot of calls about about Joe Mixon. It's been like radio silence. So not great. What's also not great is this list of receivers left. I'm going to take a guy. I haven't taken this guy yet at all. I'll take Deion Burks. He was really fast. This might be a Davis Maddox special here. I think he is on the Deion Burks is potentially. I think it was Deion Burks he was saying could go in the third round-ish. We'll see. Deion Burks though, we'll take a flyer. He's going to be super low owned. Start mixing in some different names late. Bryce Lance, another guy I've seen get drafted. But gone are the days where we could take our Jeremy Bernard, our Omar Cooper Jr. kind of guys. Malachi Fields had a dismal combine. I was taking a ton of him in that range. Ted Hurst is fine. I think you can still click on him. But that'll wrap this team with a 3-6-8-3. And we'll see who Jay Hawker takes. The pick you can't see is Malachi Fields. I know people like to know who the late guys who go in some of these drafts to keep an eye on. Other notes, Jordan James goes in this draft, pick 230. Caleb Johnson was Mr. Irrelevant in this draft. Isaiah Bond, one of those late receivers I've been clicking a little bit. So, fun stuff. Fun draft, everyone. Let me hop in one more. Again, if you can, drop a like, drop a sub. Waiting for 5 if you want to get into this one. I will not be live tomorrow. I'll see if I have time to put out some videos. I will be away. Got a family thing, so I will not be streaming the rest of this week and probably not on Monday. But I should be back next Tuesday again. We'll see. I might try to stream. Maybe bring a guest on and stream, but I will be in a non-underdog friendly place, so I won't be able to do my normal thing. But we'll see if we can overcome that. But it's been awesome doing these, and I can't wait to be back with you all when I'm back. Waiting for one. I don't know why I brought the draft board up. Boomer says C money. Oh, Boomer Sooner. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think this was again. We're in the 6 again. All right. We got the 6 again. We got Goods, last year's winner, in the 1. We got B Grandy at the 8. Brooklyn Bum at the 11. Myself at the 6. Chaito says, if I know today that Mixon is the one you're going to need week 17, still drafting 0 of him, I'm having nightmares about 22%. Yeah, the Mixon stuff is killer, right? I still think of Mixon. I don't do the 5-5-5 often, but I sattied in on DK and I was doing a slow and I missed my pick and I took a Joe Mixon share like after it was already clear he was done at like pick 70 or 80 because I didn't have ranks in, and I was like, this team's dead, and it was dead. So Joe Mixon has cost all of us dearly. But I will say, if you did know he was who you needed week 17, you should probably draft some of him. But I don't know, man. If he didn't play an entire year, and he's still not ready. Like, I don't know what makes me think he's going to be ready and fantasy relevant late. It is pretty grim for our Joe Mixon bags. We'll see if we get anything other than Jonathan Taylor here. Maybe we'll try to switch it up a little bit. Here goes Jamar Chase. In the ideal world, we'll get JSN just to do something with a little bit different texture. But alas, probably not. Yeah, Jonathan. Oh, he takes Jonathan Taylor. All right, we'll take JSN here. We'll take JSN. So we'll start with the wide receiver. Give the people a little bit of a different look, maybe. Hopefully try to avoid any Sam Darnold auto drafting accidents. Mike Robb. Joe Mixon, Tank Dell, Will Fuller. What the heck is up with the doctors in Houston? Well, Tank Dell, I don't blame the doctors on. Nor Joe Mixon. We don't know because it's all Twitter innuendo on the Joe Mixon thing. But I imagine it's like a plot from a movie where like Joe Mixon gets his foot crushed on an ATV, and they're like, we got to get him to a hospital. Like, we can't. The team's going to find out. So they, like, call a vet, and then they have, like, the vet fix his foot, and the vet's, like, half in the bag. They're like, you got it. He plays for the... And anyway, like, I just imagine some just, like, really sketchy scene. Maybe even in a third world country where they had to fix Joe Mixon's foot and then, like, try to hide it from the team. Tank Dell got absolutely destroyed by his teammate. And I think just required multiple surgeries. So that wasn't the team's fault. And Will Fuller, I don't know how much Will Fuller had even before, but yeah, it's been wild. They have had some rotten injury luck there. All right, so we took JSN. What do we want to do? You guys want to go JSN Bowers? Let's do that. I don't know. Let's do JSN London, actually. We'll do Drake London. Arlock's asking, is Gibbs the new 1.1 going forward? Yes, until further notice. Until further notice, Gibbs will flip Bijan. I think it makes a ton of sense that Detroit will bring someone in. And when they do, it could easily flip back, is my thing. I personally would still rather have Bijan, because now we're just acting like it's going to be like Joe Gibbs and like Sion Vaki, or I don't even know who else is on their roster at running back. I think they have somebody else. I think it's a little bit of shark jumping here. I'm actually curious. Who else is on there if I do? Lions. Yeah, Sion Vaki. Yeah, Jabari Small, Jacob Sailors. I don't know. That guy's buying Bitcoin instead of playing football. So yeah, they're going to bring somebody else in. And if they bring somebody, it could theoretically even get worse. I don't know. I didn't love how Gibbs was, like, the more touches he got. I think he is one of these guys that is better with a complimentary back. We absolutely need Jacobs or Walker. That will be the pick there. Crutches says Bijan 1.1 fight me. I think I'm in agreement there. I think I agree with you. Bijan should be the 1.1. Now Algiers going to leave, and surely they'll bring someone else in. But I could see that. I could see that it's not being quite as bad. Again, it's just going to depend. Different coaching staff. I doubt they're going to do the annoying, like, sub amount at the goal line stuff. So I think Bijan is trending higher, and Gibbs we're, like, buying the Pico top of. Arlox is still Bijan too. Yeah. All right, Gunner. Well, I think a lot of wise people in here are still Bijan. Again, it doesn't really matter. I'm probably just going to go with ADP, because I don't want that to be a big stand, because they're both capable of putting up 40 fantasy points in a week. Like, it's a fun discussion, but I think at the end of the day it's kind of moot, at least to me, because I'm gonna try to be just at market at both. And if the market decides it's Gibbs 1.1, I'm not gonna take Bijan every time I have a 1.1, because I don't want to have no Gibbs. Arlox, I've also heard more touchdowns for Gibbs, but he scored a ton in the past 2 years. Yeah, it's possible. It's really going to depend a lot on who else they bring in. Brooklyn Bum says, I see the Lions bringing in a vet like Harris or drafting someone like Coleman. Yeah. I get those are probably like the two main sort of outcomes. I don't think they're going to bring in like a Dowdle or Algier kind of guy. I could see it being in that next tier. All right, let's see. The machine wants us to take Devontae Adams. We're not going to listen to the machine, though. We're going to take Colston Loveland here. I'd like a little more Loveland in my life, I think. So let's grab him there. I'll pull the board up. People can see what's going on. We'll take a Loveland share. Kowski says, I asked AI to convince me Mixon's a good best ball pick. The results were comedy gold. Oh, no. You're absolutely right. Joe Mixon could grow a new foot. Crutcher says, I get Gibbs is super fun and explosive, but Bijan showed that too, and more consistent with the best prospect profile of all time, passes the eye test too. I don't know. Gibbs clear 1.2 over Puka. I agree. Yep. Yeah, I think that's all right. I think that's all correct there. They both have that ability to, like, do what needs to be done, but also, like, break off an 80-yard touchdown in a given game. Crutcher says there's a lot of good free agents that can get a Vidal type for cheap. Yeah, like, I don't know. I guess it just depends which direction they go. If they go someone like Vidal, who's like potentially more long-term and younger, or if they take like James Conner is healthy, let's just add a guy we know can do it all. I'll be curious to see who they take. All right, the machine wants RJ Harvey. This is not an RJ Harvey channel. I'll take Swift over that, though, and we'll build out our bet on the Lions. We have Loveland here. So we got Ken Walker, DeAndre Swift, JSN, London, and Loveland. Of course, JSN and Walker probably not a stack at this point, but you never know. You never know. Al Boogie says Mike Washington to Detroit. Book it. Oh, my God. Yeah, I'd be very curious to see where he gets drafted. Be very curious what his ultimate draft capital ends up being. And he's probably fortunate he's in this kind of weak running back class. He could end up, you know, much higher in the running back ranks than expected, because I don't think it's going to be as hard to leapfrog some of the guys at the back end. But man, he was big and fast. Arlock saying that is interesting. I'm assuming you're talking the Bijan discussion. Yeah, but yeah, Gibbs in this one, the one that went to Mr. Goods. Looking at the board, no Piss Boys. The closest thing we have is Iceman, went anchor running back. So did Best Ballin there. Nobody with 0 running backs, but a few people with only 1. The 3 hole goes Jackson and Daniels. So they go kind of a double elite quarterback. We did that last draft. I think a draft came out fine doing that. So I don't mind that there. Etienne at 27. I think that's... I don't know, is that his current ADP? That sounds a shade high, but I don't know. Bird enthusiast Mike Washington price is getting too spicy. Yeah, we're in that thing where his ADP went up from like the 200s to 160, and now people are like grabbing him to try to get ahead of even that, and we're starting to potentially get into slightly silly season, I think. Oh boy, I see what the machine wants me to do. I kind of want to just take Caleb at ADP with Loveland and DeAndre Swift, and we'll see what comes back to us. Purple Yosh says, GM. Hey, GM2, Purple Yosh. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Appreciate you coming in, hanging out. Crutcher says, as an 18-plus round enjoyer, to be fair, he can still be running by 2 overall in draft, so that's more than fine, even at 130. Talking about Mike Washington. Yeah, and you're starting to get into that point where ADP matters less and less and less. Like, people always go back to the auction draft value, and it's sort of like when you're in that range, you're almost down to like the $3 player. So it's like, well, yeah, I knew Goods was going to take Montgomery. I thought about taking Monty there. I knew Goods was too sharp to let that go. He was the one I was worried about. So we don't get Monty. That's okay. There are still some options for us. But yeah, so even if you overpay slightly, once you're in that range, it's really not the end of the world. We got Tootin and Ramondre at the top of the queue. I have been pretty out on Tootin. We discussed that a few weeks back. So let's grab Ramondre there. Could I have tried to push Caleb? Maybe. Goods, though, was sitting here with Luther Burden, so we could have missed out on that. But we'll see. We got a nice bet on the Bears going, so don't mind that. Yeah, not clicking, though, however, the expensive price on Mr. Washington. But I'm chilling just a bit because the reaction, see where he settles. Yeah. Agreed. Skeletor GM just stopping by to listen to these 6 soundtracks. Hey, appreciate it. I'm glad people like it. try to switch up the music so it's not just people forced to listen to Feeding the Ducks and Night Driving. Try to give the people what they want. RM covers 150 is fine. Anything above that, I'm out. Yeah, it's just kind of hard to draw. Like, let's look at the running backs there. Like, 159 is Tajay Spears. 156 Rashad White. Before that, you've got Mason, Connor, Kamara. I understand if you were like, no, I can't take him above Mason. But, like, I don't know. I'm fine taking him above this, like, Kamara, Rashad White, Tajay Spears range if I really had to, just because of the potential upside swing. So, we will see. We will see. All right, the board is coming back to me. The machine wants me to take Patty Mahomes pretty badly. Gosh, it always wants me to take Mahomes. It just loves Mahomes. Still wants Mahomes. What do you say, guys? Do we listen? Do we just let the sidekick take it from here? I'm curious. All right, sidekick, what can you do for me? Let's do it. Let's take Mahomes. Let's listen to the machine. We'll top click Patrick Mahomes. Skeletor says, like and subscribe. Hey, appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yeah, if you can, like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps me out. Thank you guys so much for doing that. Good. Oh, good. So don't apologize. Don't apologize at all. Ultimate White Male, though, did not appreciate Mike Washington tearing up there. Well, you know what? I did not appreciate him not running the agility drills. That bothered me far more. Would have liked to see that. Crutch is asking, who's locked in at one and done? Did you Colin or did you use already? I have Batia and I'm going for it all. I think Batia is going to win a signature event, and I think he can do it here. I know he missed the cut last year in his only thing. Right now, that's who I have. I might come to my senses and use Morikawa because I haven't used Morikawa. But I right now, I'm thinking of going deep off the board. If I'm not going to use Scotty here, I already used Rory. I don't know. I've just got a feeling. I got a feeling he's like 60-1, so it's definitely past the range of where these are popular. But I think some of these, they've had winners from that kind of range on the board before, so I'm willing to take a shot on it. The machine wants Rico. I mean, I'm taking Rico Dowdle here. I think this is a podium pick for me. So we grab Rico Dowdle there. Let me pull the board back up for people. Crutches likes the Mahomie. Okay, good. Ultimate White Trait likes the music. What's it called? Tijuana Cantina. No, it is called Asleep with the Sun. Asleep with the Sun. YouTube library has a bunch of songs that you can use for free. There's not a great way to sort them, so you just kind of got to listen to it. Some of them say ambient, and I'm like, this is not ambient. This is super distracting. But yeah, that's one. This one is, again, called Asleep with the Sun. Crutches says, I do feel like the price is good for MVP type who just got an OC upgrade, has the best medical care in the world. Yeah, I agree. I think the price is, on Mahomes is phenomenal. And I understand why the sidekick is recommending him so much. Just for me, sometimes the sidekick will recommend him even when I've gone like double elite quarterback. I have like Mahomes and Hurts. Excuse me, Hurts and Allen. It's like, what about Mahomes here at pick 78? I'm like, I don't think I need him. But the Sims know all. Crutches says, I like a lot of the non-elite pieces. Yeah, on the API. I think there's some good stuff. You had mentioned Knapp earlier. I like Jake Knapp. I think he makes a certain amount of sense. It's just, I don't know. I something's holding me back from that one particular click, I think. I'm going to take Wandale here. We're going to listen to the sidekick. I like Wandale and Shakir, but Wandale is fine. Purple Yo says the music is solid. Excellent. Yeah, next stream I'm going to try to switch him each draft. This one I just kind of got distracted in the middle. Let me see. I had something else written down for my API thoughts. All right, let's see. Oh, it's really, if you really want to get sweaty and go off the board, and this might be more of a DraftKings play. I think Ludwig Oberg, kind of intriguing. kind of started coming around. Had a real bad first round, but since then, looked better. He's pretty cheap on DraftKings. I don't know if I don't think we're quite there for one and done, but I could see Ludwig making a little bit of noise. Max or Charles this weekend? We're talking MMA. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't delved into the MMA streets at all, but yeah, I love that Paramount Plus now has everything, and we don't have to pay for fights. It's we are living in the golden age right now with MMA. And here the other bit of alpha. If you hold on, let me make my pick, and then we can get back to the alpha. The machine is hot on Trey Benson. I'm surprised. I think Kenny Gainwell is better. Okay, well, there we go. It's actually recommending Darnold above all. I'm gonna IKB that just a hair. I think I like Gainwell quite a bit, so we'll do that. But yeah, UFC. If you do multi-cam, they don't show you ads, even if you have the ad-supported version of Paramount Plus. Whereas if you watch the main feed, you get all the ads. If you do multicam, it just shows everything, but there's no audio. Or I mean, there's audio. It's just like the background crowd noise and stuff in the mics there, but you don't get ads. Crutches, Knapp and Tommy were my first two looks, but Ricky, Minwoo Lee, several others lower down are fun. Yeah, Fitzy, I'll just fade the chalk and pray. Yeah, I'm kind of mad at myself about Fitzy because I used him earlier at Pebble, and I was between him and Fleetwood, and Fleetwood got T4, and so I would have rather gotten, I think, the T4 at a signature from Fitz here with the chalk, and I would have made more money. Instead, I burned Fitzy I kind of middled it, I think, with the Fitz pick there. But yeah, Fitz is going to be very, very, very popular on both DraftKings. He's a super popular bet, and he will be the chalk pivot from Rory or Scotty. Skeletor is a sucker and pays for no ads. Well, if you're watching the Paramount Plus content, then it makes it. All right, I'll take Darnold here. Sure, sidekick. I'll let you have a little treat. We'll get our QB3 stacked with our wide receiver 1. That seems good. So again, we've pushed wide receiver quite a bit. We got a 3-5, 3-1. Caleb, Mahomes, and Darnold. Running back room of Ken Walker, DeAndre Swift, Ramondre, Rico Dowdle, and Kenny Gainwell. Wide receiver, very light. JSN and Drake London kind of anchoring everything, and then Wandale, wide receiver 3. Nobody after that, but we do have Colston Loveland. So kind of an interesting team. Going with the sidekick a little more than normal. We were able to take Gainwell. IKB'd it just a hair. Darnold came back to us, which was nice. So I think we played that 11-12 round pretty well, and we'll see what the room gives to us. Mobland with Tom Hardy on Paramount is very good. I have not watched that show, but appreciate the rec. Yeah, I have not really explored the Paramount Plus catalog other than for UFC stuff, truly. All right, the machine. I am shocked the machine is not asking for wide receivers. The first wide receiver up is Jerry Jeudy. Other than that, a slew of running backs. I'm going to take Connor over Rachaad White. I don't really care much for Rachaad White, so that is more just a player take from me. I just don't know what you win when you win with Rachaad White, but I could be wrong there. So now we are up to a 3-6, 3-1. What will the sidekick do? How is it going to get us out of this jam here at wide receiver? We will see. Very curious, but I think it's an intriguing team so far, and don't mind the way the sidekick is steering the ship currently. Let's check in on some friends and family, though. Goods. He goes Gibbs, Nico, and Chase Brown, Terry McLaurin, Luther Burden, and unstacked Hurts, but of course we know that's okay. Monty, pick 73, discussed that earlier. Tony Pollard, Michael Pittman Jr., Jonah Coleman, Casey Concepcion, Cam Ward, and Brenton Strange. So he's got a 2.551 over there. B. Grandy here, hopefully not autoing today. He goes C.D. Lamb, Derrick Henry, Tet McMillan, Zay Flowers, R.J. Harvey, Cortland Sutton, Tucker Kraft, Chuba Hubbard. Takes his first quarterback in the 9th round with Bo Nix, Coker, Krosky Merritt, and then Stroud. So I think that's a little bit of a value on Stroud, but I don't think he has the stack. That, of course, would have belonged to Goods. And then Rashad White. So that is what Mr. Grandy is up to, and then we will see what comes along. The sidekick has Aaron Jones ranked above all, followed by Hunter Henry and Kamini Vidal. I think I like Jerry Jeudy. I think I like him more than some of these running backs. So I'm just going to grab him here around ADP, and then we'll see what it recommends after. OTR noting after round 8, every running back feels questionable, maybe even earlier. Yeah, I agree. It gets pretty dicey. It gets pretty dicey. I think my preference now are some of these like free agent-y kind of backs, like these Connors, like James Conner, like I guess Mason's not a free agent, but some of these guys in uncertain situations that could potentially have some upside. More on the veterans, more on the veteran angle than like the Katron Allens of the world. I don't love the rookies that much, so I'd rather be taking some of these veterans here. As much as that's not fun in the big board, it's way more fun to just end up with a slew of rookies. But I'd rather take some of these dust balls that every year kind of like get home. I was hoping we might get Charbonnet on the wrap, of course, with Seattle. Maybe he would have made sense as a 7th running back because we're not going to need him early. And if he's kind of a late season hammer on a Seattle stack, that could have been fun. But not a huge deal there. All right, let's see. The machine is now saying, okay, let's get some wide receivers on this team. Recommending Ridley, Tank Dell, and then Surratt and Trey Harris is how they have it in this room. Bearing in mind the sidekick is dynamic, it does not always recommend the same people in the same spots. Even if I was drafting this exact team again, it might swap some of these orders around. So do not look at one of these and think that's how they would permanently have it ranked, because they can change. But we'll take Calvin Ridley. I've been trying to get a little more of him. I think he could rise if he gets cut and signed somewhere. I think he could have a little bit of juice left. I don't think he's completely toast. So we'll grab that. There, B. Grandy takes Tank Dell, as we discussed before. Makes sense, though. He does have CJ Stroud, so he gets to build a late Texans stack. Emmett Johnson here in this draft. Remember, last draft he went at 131. This draft he goes at 157. I think this is much more of his current real ADP is in this 13th, 14th round. He continues to slide. One of those things where we knew he was not going to be blazing fast, but seeing it anyway was not great. Which makes you wonder, what is better? If you're going to be slow, like we think Jonah Coleman might have been, who didn't run, what's better? Like the assumption they're slow, or proving it at the combine? And I imagine each team might view that differently. Like some teams might be okay, now they know the measurables, and other teams might be like, this is worse than we thought. I am kind of curious from a game theory perspective. Is it better to just not run and hope some teams are optimistic about those sorts of things and just go off of your game film and whatever you do at your pro day? All right, the machine wants Hawkinson. I don't think I need to do that. I'm going to take Stowers. Stowers a big winner, but we're still late enough to where this is kind of still in the semi-free range. I think with Loveland, that's kind of nice. I to get the rookie. Stowers, of course, had a huge combine. Another big winner there. Super athletic. Him and Sadiq, both winners at the combine. But I think from a relative draft perspective, Stowers probably, because he was, in round 19, 20, basically free. Now he's in round 16, which again, not a huge difference. Not a huge difference from a, I don't have to worry that I'm buried by teams. But now I do have to go out of my way to click him. Jets drop bomb. Sidekick oddity. Top 2 recommendations are quarterback. Someone drafts tight end 6 picks before you. Sidekick swaps. QB recommendation. What? Why? I do not know. I do not know what the computations are going on. I've seen that. So sometimes something that's seemingly to me unrelated will swap who the top recommendation is. I don't know if that's like a depth thing, like something happening in the sim, like what it thinks is going to happen down the road. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it does that. Skeletor, there's only one MFing Mackie though. 100%. 100%. Our Mackie Award king. Let's see. All right. So yeah, now it's recommending a bunch of receivers. I tend to agree with that. The Slappy in me wants to take one of these fun rookies, Jacoby Lame, Jeremy Bernard. See, Torrey Horton would have been the pick. So that's a little bit of a bummer. I will take Jeremy Bernard. He's kind of my favorite in this range. But we absolutely would have taken the stack on Torrey Horton to build out with Darnold and JSN. But what can you do? What can you do? OTR saying it's funny how people clown guys for skipping the combine, but bash people for being slow and doing draft. Exactly. You can't have it both ways. Like, what do we think? What do we think Coleman would have run in the 3-cone drill, or in the 40? We don't know, but we do know that Emmett Johnson ran it and ran badly, and one of them is getting crushed in drafts, and the other one is kind of standing pat. But what's happening from the NFL's perspective? Are they reacting in the same way we are? Drafting big boards, and I don't know the answer to that. And again, it's probably very team to team. You probably have some teams that really put tons of weight in the combine, and others that are using different metrics. There's 32 teams, and they're all going to have their different methodology. That said, I wish everyone did everything. That would be amazing if they could make that a requirement of joining the draft, is you've got to do everything. But they'll never do that because they don't care about the combine as much as we do. All right, the machine wants Cooper Kupp. I mean, I see the vision, but I'm going to ignore the vision. I'm going to take Gunnar Helm here, and I'm just not super duper into Cooper Kupp. I think this team is fine without him, even with the stack you'd get there. So for the audio listeners, we're up to a 3-6-6-3. Caleb, Mahomes, Sam Darnold, Ken Walker, DeAndre Swift, Ramondre Stevenson, Rico Dowdle, Kenny Gainwell, and James Conner. Wide receiver room of JSN, Drake London, Wan'Dale Robinson, Jerry Jeudy, Calvin Ridley, and Jeremy Bernard. And then tight ends of Loveland, Stowers, and Gunnar Helm. Yeah, I like the way this team ended up coming out, and we'll see how we end up landing the plane. Maybe we'll let the sidekick make up our minds, but it does seem pretty heavily into receiver, and ironically, the first running back is not. I mean, it's basically not recommending a running back. So it seems to think that these 6 are enough, and I tend to agree with that myself. I think I'm in line with the sidekick on that. Again, continues to recommend Cooper Kupp. I have been light on Kupp, but you know what? I guess I see the vision. It's just hard to imagine much spike weeks from Kupp at his point in his career, but could be fine. Now the machine again, it has a mostly rookies down here, younger players, and then Geno Smith as QB4 on this team. It's recommending up near Chris Bell. Good golly. Good golly. That is one place where I will not take it. I don't think Geno Smith is good. And I don't want him as my QB4. The reality is Geno Smith is very live to start somewhere this year. But right now, before that happens, I can pretend like it isn't. Because man, Geno Smith does not look good. I know the situation in Las Vegas was absolutely dismal, and it would have been hard for anyone to succeed. But Geno Smith was part of the problem. I don't think he was being held back by the system. He was part of the people doing the holding back. So we'll see. Hey, Best Bond call effed off at work for a few for hey, appreciate that. Yeah, if you can, drop a like, drop a sub. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to hop after this one, but it's been awesome. It has been really fun to do these drafts. I will be back on Tuesday. Again, going to try to put something out for while I can't be on live, but I'll be on Discords and stuff and hanging out with the people and on Twitter. But yeah, would really appreciate the likes and the subs here. It's recommending Chris Bell, another combine winner. Let's do it. We'll take Chris Bell here. So this team ends up being a 3-6-3. Caleb, Mahomes, Sam Darnold, Ken Walker, DeAndre Swift, Ramondre, Dowdle, Gainwell, James Conner. Wide receivers of JSN, Drake London, Wan'Dale Robinson, Jerry Jeudy, Calvin Ridley, Jeremy Bernard, Cooper Kupp, and Chris Bell. And then Loveland, Stowers, and Helm. Arlock's asking, does the sidekick know how many rookies you may have taken? I assume it's just all like Sims, like based on how they're scoring in the Sims, and it probably doesn't really care. In the production sort of like, how do I put this? The way rookies get production tends to be more back-weighted. I assume that the Sims, if they're in agreement with that statement, are probably back-weighting the rookie productions as well. So I think it's all just like baked into their to the way they're doing things. Jets drop bombs week. Geno week 17 blow off. Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm gonna win no money. No money if that's the case. Fun show. Hey, it was a lot of fun. This was a nice little show. Appreciate all of you so much. If you can, drop a like, drop a sub. We're on the road to 750. We'll be doing this all winter, spring, and summer, and then when the daily games start up, we'll be doing those too. So the grind never stops. But appreciate all you so much, and I will see you next week. Take care, everyone.